Thank you very much. You're very nice. I love you too. Hey, you know, people think teaching dance is an easy gig. You make a lot of money. Hey, let me tell you something. You want to end up with $1 million teaching dance? Start out with $2 million. They think, oh yeah, you know, not only you got the money coming in from the classes, you got the private lessons, you got a lot of money coming in from selling your instructional DVDs. Well, I was at US Open Swing last year. I went up to one of the big pros and I says, hey, I bought your most recent DVD. It's really great. He says, oh, so that was you. A couple of friends of mine who teach dance from out of town, we decided to go on a vacation together. In town, forget it. You know, it's like you got 2 pizza parlors in a small town, I'm gonna break your legs. So we go to the Jersey Shore. We're on the beach. Beautiful skies, sound of the surf, the waves, slow-moving clouds, got a cooler, a beer, dolphins are jumping. Suddenly one of the guys says, next guy says, third guy says, oy vey, oy vey. I says, hey, I thought we had an agreement. We weren't going to talk about the students. West Coast swing. I love West Coast swing. And the music, it's so varied and groovy, the partnering, the movement. You know, it's challenging too. You know, I like the workshops, I like the competitions, the weekends. Angel Figueroa said to me once, bless you, Angel, he says, step, step, triple step. What's so hard about that? Ha! Anyway, this is a story I heard at the US Open. One of the instructors likes to tell this. She says, I got up early in the morning, get ready for the first event. Spending some time, you know. I go back to see my husband, he's still in bed. I says, come on, you gotta get up and get ready. He says, no, I don't want to go. I'm not going, I don't want to go. She says, you gotta get up, you're the head judge. Okay, so I'm at the Grand Nationals. This is one that was told to me. People are really into this competition thing. You know, if they made intermediate this time, they want to make advanced next time. If they made semifinals this time, they want to make finals next time. Okay, chick comes up to this judge. She says, I'd do anything to get into finals. He says, anything? She says, I'd do anything to get into finals. He says, okay, would you practice? All right, so I'm at the Boston Tea Party. Now really, from some of the outfits that these chicks wear, they ought to call it the Boston Tea&A Party. Anyway, I'm at the registration table. People are coming in from all over the world for this thing. Guy comes up to the counter. He says to me, I would like to register for the West Coast Swing competition and the Lindy Hop and the Balboa. I says to him, okay, monsieur, you take this form, you fill it out, you come back with a credit card and we take care of you. He says, are you making fun of me? I says, no, I am not making fun of you. Next guy comes over, he says, I want to register for West Coast Swing. What do I gotta do? I says, well, you take this form right here, you fill it out, you come back with your credit card, we will take care of you. He says, all right. First guy comes back to me. He says, you said you were not making fun of me. I says to him, no, I was making fun of him. So I bought this lie detector. I thought this would be fun, you know. This thing, I got it on Amazon. It analyzes the vocal frequencies, capacitances, inductances, whatever. Anyway, if you're lying, it starts to beep. Fine. I set it out on the table. I'm in a hotel room with my wife, my ex-wife actually. Actually, my ex-wife. It's 1 a.m. Our kid comes in. I says to him, where you been? He says, oh yeah, I was with some friends who were practicing for the competition. Beep, 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 beep. I says, you're lying. Where were you really? He says, okay, we were in Johnny's room. I said, what were you doing in Johnny's room? I says, well, we were watching porno. I says, you know, when I was your age, I never lied to my parents. Beep, 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 beep. My wife starts laughing. Ha, 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 ha. Like father, like son. Beep, 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 beep. All right. It's late in the evening. All the competitions are done. Everybody's social dancing. Some of the judges are in a restaurant taking it easy. This woman walks in, an extremely flamboyant outfit. Gold, diamonds, the works. She goes up to these three judges sitting at a table and she says, "This is a wonderful event, and I would like to reward you. I am Gina the Great, and I will grant each of you one wish." Suddenly there's a rain of flowers. These guys are looking at each other amazed. Apparently she's got the power. She says to the first fella, "What is your wish?" He says, "I would like to be in Monaco right now at the casino table winning." He disappears. She turns to the second judge. She says, "And what is your wish?" He says, "I would like to be in Hawaii right now on the beach sipping iced tea out of a coconut shell." Guy disappears. Turns to the third guy, happens to be the head judge. She says, "And sir, what would your wish be?" He says, "Tomorrow the competition starts at 10 a.m. I want those two guys back here by 9. Hey, Lindy Hop is fun. And you push and you push and you cross over. And the girls they're wearing like the latest styles from 30s and 40s. And the music never gets old. It's already old. So I'm at the ILHC, the Interplanetary Lindy Hop Constabulation, and I'm in the blues competition. So we're lined up for the competitors meeting, and the head judge says, "If I get one report of inappropriate behavior, $50 fine. If I get a second report, $100 fine." I yell out, "How much for a weekend pass?" So I'm at Lindy Focus. And we're lined up for the Lindy Hop competition. I'm in advanced, of course. And judges walking by, the leaders. Guy next to me starts laughing. She stops right in front of him and says, "What's so funny?" He says, "I can see your bra strap." She says, "Okay, you're disqualified. Get off the floor." She's so angry, she drops her pen. Right in front of me. She bends down to pick it up. I start walking off the floor. She says, "Where are you going?" I says, "I think I'm out for the whole event." So I'm at Camp Jitterbug. I overhear this. I'm upstairs, in the hotel rooms. I just left my room. I'm walking down a corridor. And this co-instructor goes into her room, and she says to the lead instructor, "I know what you are. You're a pedophile." And I hear him say, "That's an awfully big word for a 12-year-old. I love salsa. Hey, I just said that. No, I love the music. It's so energetic, exciting, rhythmically complex. All that syncopation. You dance with a Latina, chances are she's going to sing it along. She knows the words. And I can break on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5, 6 3/4. I'm at the World Salsa Festival in LA. And I'm taking a lesson with one of the big pros. And I tell him, before the competitions, I get a headache. I always get a headache. It's so stressful. You got any advice for me? He says, "Here's what I do. I call my wife on my cell phone, meet her upstairs in a hotel room. We make wonderful love. And she makes me a great sandwich from the mini fridge. I come back down, headache's gone." I say, "Hey, great idea. Thanks so much. What's her number?" He doesn't answer. And I didn't do too well in the competition for some unknown reason. So I'm at the New York Salsa Congress, okay? People come there from all over the place. New York, the hub of salsa in the USA, starting in the 50s. And I'd go outside to get a breath of fresh air. Standing there, and a guy walks up wearing a black suit. He's got a black tie and black briefcase, horns coming out of his head. He says, "I can make you the greatest salsa dancer in the world." I'm like, "Okay, what's it going to cost me?" He says, "Your soul." I'm like, "Okay, well, hey, you got anything for $5? He says, "Greatest merengue dancer in the world." Ballroom. Now they call it Dancesport. They'd be named at Dancesport a few years ago, hoping to get it into the Olympics, in vain. But, I love to dance, especially the smooth dances, waltz, foxtrot. I'm not a big fan of the so-called rhythm dances, cha-cha, mambo, and the ballroom version of swing. The look of a hyperkinetic salamander on an electric fence doesn't really appeal to me. But let me tell you, the gowns, the makeup the women wear, it's incredible. I mean, I don't know if I'm at a dance competition or a brothel. But I was at Blackpool last year, and a guy comes up to me and he says, "Hey, I noticed you're not dancing with Sheila anymore." I says, "Well, look, how would you like it if you had a dance partner that was always trying to get some money out of you and never paying it back, all right? Coming to practices late or not at all, coming to competitions drunk or stoned or both, and hitting on your friends to spend the night. I mean, how would you like it?" Well, she didn't like it either. So, we're taking a break in between the events. I'm outside with a bunch of guys. We're standing around. We see a fellow walking his dog. Guy next to me says, "That is an Afghan hound, a very sophisticated and elegant animal." So the dog, after sniffing some poop, starts licking his balls. And the other guy says to me, "I wish I could do that." I'm like, "Hey, go ahead." Dog looks friendly. So the guy sees us, watching him. He comes over and he says, "I see you admiring my dog. Well, let me tell you something. This is not an ordinary dog. This is a talking dog." I'm like, "Yeah, right." He says, "And this dog is for sale." I'm like, "Yeah, right." So I bite on it. I say to the dog, "Are you a talking dog?" Dog says, "Yes, I am a talking dog." We're like astounded, okay? I say to the dog, "Well, can you tell us your story?" The dog says, "Well, I started training at a very early age. I competed in bronze, and then silver, and then gold, and then pre-champ. And I was at a competition here in Blackpool a few years ago, and we were dancing the Paso Doble, and I got kind of carried away, and I started humping my partner's leg. And as a result of that, I got banned from all further competitions all over the world. So here I am." We're like, "Okay." So I say to the guy, so you say this dog is for sale. I mean, what are you asking?" He says, $10. We're like, $10? How come? He says, "The dog's a liar. He never got past silver." So I'm at the Russian Open, all right? And I get a call on my cell phone. It's Natasha. She says, "Come up to the room." I go up to the room. Walk in. She says, "Take off my necklace. Take off my gown. Take off my heels. Take off my slip. Take off my bra. Take off my panties. And if I ever catch you wearing my clothes again, I'm going to put my foot up your ass, and it's not going to be in the good way." Later on, we're downstairs. We're practicing Vietnamese waltz. We're having an argument. Now, I got to admit, I'm an intuitive dancer. I dance by feel. When it comes to this technical stuff, I'm not the brightest star in the sky, right? So a couple comes over and says, "Hey, we hate to see you guys argue. Maybe we can help you out." I says, "Okay, fine. What's the problem?" I says, "Well, she keeps telling me, left foot, left foot, left foot." They say, "Okay, well, what's the issue with that?" I say, "She won't tell me which one it is."